possible. At Tupelo Smiles, we use precision dentistry and advanced technology to make visiting the dentist an amazing experience. Relationship-based comprehensive care. Come discover the difference at Tupelo Smiles.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff.
Mama!
Like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather at 10.
Well, another night in the books and another cool night as well. We're heading into Mississippi Live Weather at 10. I'm meteorologist Gabe Maynard. We have an abundance to talk about because A, it was a rainy day altogether, but B, Week 1 football right around the corner, and we are so excited for that forecast to showcase that for you guys. And also, we are, less than 24 hours away from our Friday night football here at Mississippi Live Weather. I mean, so many new things coming. There's plenty to be excited about. Well, for tonight, let's go ahead and start with the here and now. Rainfall continues. Underline this for some because those chances diminishing overnight, and it'll be very isolated for our Friday. But here's the thing. Saturday comes around. We have Week 1 college football games, and we are taking our talents to the rain because we'll be traveling to some away games, and it'll be a much more soggy forecast than what we'll have here in Mississippi. Ole Miss, consider yourselves the fortunate ones because you guys are staying right here at home where it's a drier forecast. Well, let's go ahead and track also the temperatures gradually increasing into our Labor Day weekend. So there's a lot to look forward to, especially if you're staying right here in town in that extended forecast. Let's start with the first 12, and we mentioned some lingering showers overnight. 11 p.m., 20%. That's primarily down south around Highway 82, and really further than that, well into the Jackson and Meridian area. 2 a.m., some of those isolated chances linger. We keep those 20% all the way into our morning commute before those chances even start to dissipate beyond that point, down to about 10%. Not very high, especially not compared to what we saw today. Let's get a live look outside thanks to the North Mississippi Storm Chasers here in the Room to Room Weather Center. 64 degrees, but that humidity still around 94%. So I know you can't see it, but trust me, there are clouds in that sky, and it has been a stratus cloud-filled day as that has kind of blanketed the sky. And not just over there in Crenshaw, we also saw that in Macon, 66 degrees right now, so a few degrees up. But the fact that I feel like we're glazing over this. The fact we're still talking about mid-60s in August at 10 o'clock. Consider that. I mean, it is well below average, and we have been this way for a while and expect to be this way heading into the rest of this week as well. I mean, it's just a superb forecast. Tupelo, 66 degrees, and again, that cloud cover highlighting a large part of the area. We got a fun cloud. Fun, is fun the word? We'll call it unique cloud earlier this evening, and we got a picture submitted to us from one of our weather watchers out in the field. We'll showcase that off to you guys coming up here in a couple minutes, but it is definitely a view you have to see to believe because I was looking up at the sky with my jaw on the ground because it was just so cool to witness. Cleveland, I mean, you're looking at, that is a breezy condition. Usually that flag is pretty calm. Those winds coming at about 5 to 10 miles an hour out of the northeast shows those winds starting to transition just a bit. That'll be a big driver in our forecast because we've been mentioning the moisture. We've been mentioning those rain chances. But as that rain chance transitions further to the south, what's behind it is a northeast wind that'll bring some drier conditions across the region. Let's cycle this back over the last hour or so. Let me jump to, let's go about an hour. You can see some of those light rain chances still lingering there south of Highway 82, really around Attala and Winston County right there. But I'm just going to move this ever so slightly, about 3 counties or so, and you can see where the large batch of rainfall is. Some of that just wrapping around, and we're getting some of those pop-up showers on the back end of that frontal system towards Attala and Winston County. Is that impactful rainfall? Far from it. The most impactful sections will be there towards Forest and on there towards the Ridgeland and Jackson area. So we are kind of past our peak with this threat, and that is, however you look at it, a fortunate thing, but also an unfortunate thing, because I know there were a lot of folks that didn't get any rainfall at their house, and we are still in desperate need of that. Let's jump down to the Jackson radar site where we can really get a visual. Some of those having some more significant storms. And while we did have a lot of rainfall today, we didn't have that many thunderstorms. So this one right here towards Natchez, definitely one to keep an eye on because look at how many strikes it's had over the last 30 minutes. Nearly 1,200. So when we say energetic, I mean, that's an understatement for these storms. And this was actually part of some of those cells that were out there towards Louisiana that actually prompted a tornado warning. Luckily, still haven't confirmed anything on that. But the fact that we got a warning shows that some of these just charge themselves up and had literally charge themselves up, not the word to use right there, but definitely had some lift to them and had some of that unstable air that they were able to take advantage of. But expanding things out, once again, that's really the main batch is what we're watching down around Jackson. Here in North Mississippi, we're on the drier end of that forecast. Even over there towards Leake County, not getting a lot of those on the north side there towards Philadelphia. So unfortunately, like I mentioned, or fortunately, we're going to still take both sides of the playing field. It is a good thing or a good and a bad thing that we're getting rid of those rain chances. Looking at a few of these outputs, just insane how much we got there towards Little Rock. I'm going to try and pinpoint that exactly. I know there's a 7 in there. I'm going to try to go back to that. I believe that's a 7 right there. Let me see if I pinpointed that. 7.5. So that was on the northeast side of Oklahoma. I promise you, right there north of Little Rock, we were at around that 7-inch mark. As we get more towards North Mississippi, whenever we talk about our highest outputs, I mean, we got 4 inches close there on the northeast side of Jackson. Yazoo City, 3.9 inches. I'm going to clear this off and we're going to go back into North Mississippi because I really want to look at some of those rain totals we got here specifically for us. You definitely see that stripe where we had the most moisture. That was, as Matt was talking about, training with some of that moisture and some of those outputs. I mean, 3.4 inches. We actually, just on the east side of Arkansas, 6.4 inches. I mean, I'm just going to populate this entire line right here, 2.2, 2.5. We had some 2-inch outputs there along Highway 82 towards Greenwood, but then let's just go steadily out. So it just becomes less and less and less. I mean, that's right around the Lobhan Manor household right there. And so we're the unfortunate side of the playing card, but moisture tried to move into our area. It's just that stripe. We got unfortunate with the positioning on that. So that's the unfortunate part about it because we are still in those drought conditions and actually got worse over the past 7 days. So we are still in desperate need of rainfall. And while we did have a rainy forecast today, we need more of it to get out of those drought conditions altogether. Now, we mentioned that warm front earlier. Let's expand things out once again because that warm front is now transitioned to more of a stationary front. Why that matters is because we start to see some of that lift right along that frontal boundary. So that'll take chances away from us here in North Mississippi as that warm front was bringing some of that warm, moist air that, let me just draw it out for you, that we were receiving earlier, reaching all the way up here towards North Mississippi. Well, I mean, as this frontal boundary carries further towards the south, we will see a lot of these chances isolated more right along that front. So that's going to keep chances further down south. You might, if you're a state fan, know where we're playing Saturday, and you might know why that's an issue. But even if you're an Alabama fan and you know that you're playing down there towards Tallahassee, that's going to be a very soggy forecast as well. So there's our 2 chances, the taking our talents to the rain, because unfortunately it's not looking like the best forecast for folks heading south away from North Mississippi. So let's jump back into Futurecast and we'll be able to highlight this a little bit better. And I'm going to keep it to where you can see that system, but also see North Mississippi in a little bit more detail. So watch how this front carries a little bit more towards the south and how a lot of these isolated showers, or should I say scattered showers at this point, and thunderstorms remain right along that boundary. So since it's so far south, or far enough south, we're going to keep those chances primarily towards Jackson, Meridian, Hattiesburg, even there towards Alexandria and Shreveport there in Louisiana. North Mississippi, we start to get this northeast wind moving into the area, and that'll bring some of those cooler, drier conditions on the backside of this frontal boundary. So that's 9 a.m. on your Friday. We keep that forecast going, and let me clear those arrows out because I don't want them to linger forever. We'll still see that wind kind of push into the forecast, drying things up and allowing some clearing in the sky. The clearing in the sky will actually allow for temperatures to get slightly warmer than what we got today because it does need that sunshine to get back into the atmosphere to really warm us up once again. Noontime, those chances still sticking right along that frontal boundary. And as this continues to push southeast there, that low pressure system, that's where those chances will be. So luckily for us here in North Mississippi, staying on the drier side, and we'll walk through that forecast, of course, in more detail of who will be impacted by those pop-up showers here in just a few moments. Let's first look at the next 24 and those chances. Very isolated in nature for the start of the day, diminishing as the day goes on, and you see 6, 7, 8 o'clock. Dry forecast in place. So those Friday night football forecasts looking fantastic. We'll have that in full detail here in just a few moments. So the next 60, I just mentioned one of them. We're walking through the Friday night football forecast. We're walking through the week 1 college football forecast for our local teams. And we're also walking through where those showers could pop up for our Friday and your school day forecast. We have one more day of the week, guys. We're almost there. So let's stay with us here at Mississippi Live Weather. We'll, of course, have everything you need, I promise, coming up here in just a minute. Did I click off of it? I think I did. Hang on one second.
At Room to Room, did you know our specialty is custom ordered upholstery? Get the furniture you want and the fabric and color selection you want. With our free design service, we won't let you make a mistake.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. But only you can prevent wildfires.
March 24th, 2023 was a normal Friday. We knew the weather was not good, but we needed to take shelter, and we didn't have shelter. My husband and almost 2-year-old daughter, Ethan and Riley, they did lose their lives in the storm. We're still recovering from it. We'll always be recovering from it. Matt Laupon cares about the community. He's not just there to collect a paycheck. I feel like Matt Laupon has proven himself trustworthy.
Right now, from the Mississippi Live Weather Center, here's meteorologist Gabe Maynor.
Well, thank you for sticking with us for Mississippi Live Weather at 10. It was a fantastic day because we got some much needed rainfall, but we also got those cooler conditions. Someone said in the chat, I believe it was you, Craig, that it felt like more of an October day than an August day. And you are exactly right about that forecast, because our seasonal average for this time of year, we should be 90 to 91 degrees for those high temperatures. A lot of us today didn't get out of the, was it upper 60s? Or it was, I would say low to mid 70s, but still nonetheless, well below our seasonal average. Definitely felt more like an October day and looked more like an October day. Take a look at Diane there in Pontotoc County submitting this picture, those oranges showing up. Does it not give you Halloween vibes just a bit? Just a phenomenal picture there. I love, like I said yesterday, that landscape being blacked out. So just adding to that spooky feature of the picture. What can I say? I'm ready for fall. But not just in Pontotoc County. I told you that there was a unique cloud over here in Tupelo. It really just stuck out like a sore thumb getting to witness this, because there was, of course, that stratus cloud well across the sky, blanketing things. But then there was this random roll cloud just across the center sections of our sky. And if you were driving in Tupelo, trust me, there's no way you missed it, because it just stuck out like I mentioned. So a cool little feature there. Just one of our roll clouds that we typically get with some of our active systems, and especially as that moisture pushed north just a bit, you definitely got some of those roll clouds, shelf cloud. That's what we believe that was up there in the sky. But still a cool feature, and a big thank you to all of our weather watchers just for submitting those pictures and keeping us weather aware. Of course, we always need to be so, even on days like today where it's just some stratiform precipitation. Kosciuszko, 64 degrees, winds very calm. The reason why I say that is because we might be seeing some patchy fog for our morning commute tomorrow, because of course that moisture's in the air. I know Itala County got it, but whenever you don't have that wind to dry things up, that moisture's still there. So once that morning starts and that heating starts, when you heat water up, you get that steam, and so that can cause some fog for our morning commute. Kosciuszko, not the only location we could see that. We could see that as far north as Pontotoc with some of those isolated showers popping up. 66 degrees right now. I do see some of those stars in the sky popping up. You see it right above my head. The reason why I mentioned that is because some clearing is happening. Those northeast winds carrying out some of that moisture and pushing it off there towards the south. Down in Starkville, still looking like a cloudy forecast, 66 degrees. And there's your winds, 0 miles an hour. That's the unfortunate part, some patchy fog for a morning commute, on top of what could be some pop-up showers as well. So Mississippi Live Weather Radar. This is over the last hour or so. You can see where the last of those showers cleared on out in Winston, Itala, and Noxubee County. Got the last remnants of those. Now, some of that moisture will continue to circulate into our area, but we are not very high in those rain chances. We are little to none in that extended forecast. Down south, completely different story, and we are continuing to look at that possibility for some flash floods around the Jackson area. And as all of those showers push more towards that Quitman, Laurel, and Hattiesburg area, we could be looking at some potential for flash flooding around those regions as well. So it's just been a dreary forecast across North Mississippi, but what we've been experiencing all day has finally transitioned south, and so folks down in southern Mississippi getting to enjoy that as well. Now let's jump back into North Mississippi for our futurecast, and you see some of those chances trying to linger in that extended forecast. This is for 2 a.m. or so. Now this has it way farther north than what I believe this is going. As you saw, chances already there towards Leake County and Kemper County, not here in North Mississippi. 7 a.m. This is the extent of the moisture, because a lot of that is just carried out there with the frontal boundary, and then we're left with this pop-up light mess that will more than likely be fog above anything else as our feature there on the ground. But low temperatures, there are going to be some areas that cool off more than others. Let's talk about the clear skies. I've been mentioning this all week. So when you have that blanket across the sky like what we had today, temperatures stay pretty uniform. You cool off to the low to mid 60s, you climb to the mid to upper 70s. Whenever it's clear, you get those cooler nights and those warmer afternoons. So over there in the northeast side of our viewing area, we're talking about 58 degrees Boonville, 59 Iuka, an amazing start to our Friday. I mean, I can't imagine a Friday starting better than that. But out towards the southwest, where that moisture is the most, showing up the most, that's where we're getting those low to mid 60s. So that will vary our temperature forecast for the start of the day. But nonetheless, we have a mostly dry start across the region for our morning commute. So pick up at the school bus. You can pack the rain gear just to be on the safe side. More than likely, we shouldn't need it. But as we get towards the drop-off hour and we wrap up our school week, yes, students, we are almost there. And teachers, I have to give a special shout out to my wife. We are almost there. 83 degrees and some great conditions, as well as those showers transition south. So we are going to be left with a fantastic Friday night football forecast. There's your alliteration for the night. But let's carry that over through the entirety of our Friday. You see those showers popping up around that Hollandale and Chula area. That's our prominent region that we're going to be getting these chances in our forecast. But basically that entire threshold of south of Highway 82 is where we're going to see those showers develop, or at least try to push a little bit more north. I mean, beyond that, it's a little bit of a stretch of the imagination to get any meaningful moisture beyond that point. You see some yellows popping up, and our yellow on that scale shows some moderate rainfall in those forecasts. Now, a lot of that has to reach the ground, and so with these light showers, not expecting anything significant, but where those deeper greens or those yellows pop up, definitely could get some of those heavier outputs. But for a short period of time, because look, beyond that, 6 p.m., we're seeing just some light showers lingering there towards Louisville, and even those start to dissipate out as we head into our Friday evening and our Friday night football. We are week 1, ladies and gentlemen. It is here. Football season is back. And I think this is as good of a forecast temperature-wise as I've ever seen for week 1 Friday night football forecast. I mean, we're talking low 80s. Of course, we mentioned the warmer air with some of those clear skies allowing that sunshine to reach the surface, but upper 70s where that moisture is lingering around. So starting mid 60s, rising to upper 70s. Pretty uniform if you ask me. But let's carry that over into the heat indices as well. I don't want to glance over this because it is still drier air despite that moisture being in the forecast. Still not going to feel sticky. It's going to be a very comfortable forecast as we watch those games. Those rain chances transition further off there towards the south and east away from North Mississippi. So we are basically mostly cloudy overnight. That's our biggest concern that we have to worry about, and I'm not concerned whatsoever. It's going to be a great forecast. We're excited to start our Friday night football series in Pontotoc, so if you want to come join us out there and cheer on Amory or cheer on Pontotoc, whichever side you want to root for, it's just going to be so exciting to be back and so exciting to be with you guys out there in the field. 3 a.m. on your Saturday, staying on the drier side, and you can see where that moisture is lying. Well off to the south and east, which is far away from North Mississippi, but close to where our games are going to be happening. So by the time we get towards that 11 a.m. kickoff, I believe that is the one, oh my word, I got my games confused. Ole Miss is the night game. Yes, Ole Miss is the night game. Alabama's the afternoon. We'll get to all this forecast in a second. But down in Hattiesburg, it's around 11 a.m., and that's going to be in prime time where those showers are happening. And, of course, transitioning towards the afternoon, Alabama taking on Florida State and Tallahassee. It's going to be seeing those soggy conditions move in there as well. But 6 p.m., here's what we're seeing across North Mississippi. So Ole Miss Rebels, you are in for the superb forecast of the 3, so enjoy it and whoop Georgia State. We want to win here in North Mississippi. High temperatures, mid to upper 80s expected. You see a lot of clearing happening on our Saturday, so that's going to allow those temperatures to warm up just a bit. Still enjoying that drier air, so that's what makes this forecast 10 times more bearable. If you add that stickiness value to this forecast, I mean, it just makes it to be that much more miserable. But let's take rainfall totals into the next 24 hours or so, and really into our Friday evening. You see those limited chances, nothing being added post 7 o'clock on our Friday, so that's where I don't have any rain chances or hardly any rain chances for our Friday night football forecast. If anything were to develop, I mean, we're talking on the southern edges of our southernmost counties. But that's really the outlook that we're getting rainfall-wise, in a much different picture than what we were forecasting 24 hours ago heading into today, because that was basically a giant stripe of moisture over the top of North Mississippi. But you saw where those showers are popping up. This is going to be primarily for our morning commute, or at least the overnight into the morning commute, because that's where those showers are lingering in the forecast. That level 1 threat, that marginal threat, continues into our Friday morning, and hopefully all of those conditions get alleviated as the day goes on. 78 degrees by pregame, 74 by halftime, and 69 by the final snap. Like I said, superb forecast. I'm running out of adjectives that have positive vibes to them. So That tells you how good the forecast is, right? Well, this is going to be your high school football forecast, your week 1 forecast. Partly cloudy skies lingering in the forecast, but like I said, no rain associated with it. That is definitely as ideal as you can get. And college football follows that same trend. Here is the Ole Miss game. This is going to be 6:45, our late game on our slate for Saturday, taking on Georgia State. But you do notice right there, no chances of rainfall. So we're staying dry through the entirety of the game. 81 first place, 70 by the final snap. I'm not saying it's jacket weather, but if you're a cold-natured person, definitely worth considering. But, I mean, honestly, this is as good as it gets. But let's go ahead and jump down south. And we're talking down there towards Hattiesburg, Mississippi. You see how the forecast changes. This is your 11 a.m. kickoff on your Saturday. 70 to 80% coverage whenever it comes to that pinpoint forecast. We're talking right on top of the stadium. This is where we're expecting that rainfall to really push into the forecast. That frontal boundary right over the top of our Bulldogs as they take on the Southern Miss Golden Eagles. I know we have some people in chat. Is it the Golden Eagles? I'm pretty sure it is. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm going to go check here in a second. But we do have one more game. That is the Alabama Crimson Tide taking on the Florida State Seminoles. I think this will be a fantastic game. But whenever you add the rainfall to it, it kind of evens the playing field for both teams. So I think that'll make it even better. That kickoff at 2:30 on your Saturday. 80 degrees by first place, 79 halftime, and 78 towards the final snap. Rainfall continues to be the story for everyone that is going to be further to the south that are playing away games. Like I said, Ole Miss got a good forecast. So a big thank you to Carl Hogan just for sponsoring this and making it all possible to have that SEC football forecast. And a big thank you to Carl Hogan for giving us the great weather for our North Mississippi teams for Friday night and for our Saturday morning, or Saturday evening, should I say. So Saturday, Sunday, our Labor Day weekend, staying mostly dry throughout both of those days. Temperature-wise, though, allowing those temperatures to warm up, mid to maybe even upper 80s for our afternoon highs and mid 60s for our lows. So when we're talking about warm conditions, we're still below average. That tells you the forecast and how good it's been. Well, don't worry, those temperatures stay pretty uniform as moisture returns to the forecast Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Very isolated when it comes to those rain chances. So I know we're looking at Monday, circling it on our calendar and thinking, well, that's going to be a washout. No, I'm not saying washout. There will be windows of opportunity. And of course, we'll be walking through that forecast in more detail heading into tomorrow morning, heading into tomorrow night, and into our weekend with meteorologist Caleb Edelblut. So what we have, what we want you guys to do is go ahead and download that app. You can see it on your, I can't wave behind it. Can I do this? Wait, hang on. There we go. There we go. Download the app. We want you guys to. And it'll keep you informed. So if you're traveling to any of those games and you have that app handy, it'll actually go with you wherever you go in Hattiesburg, or if it's down in Tallahassee, or if you're just going away for Labor Day. It'll actually walk through that forecast where you are at, and so let you know what to expect, not just here in North Mississippi, but wherever you decide to go to for your holiday weekend. And of course, our next broadcast happening at 6:30, 7, and 7:30 with meteorologist Maggie McCauley. Make sure to tune in for what to expect for your Friday. She'll have latest updates on those football forecasts and the little chances of rainfall we have for our Friday, and also some updated rainfall chances heading into our Labor Day. And of course, we'll be back here tomorrow at 5, 6, and 10, 5 and 6. You guys want to make sure to tune in because we'll be live in Pontotoc. Chief Meteorologist Matt Lobhan joining us and telling us what he's seeing, adding to our Friday night football experience. And we cannot wait to just be a part of this Friday night football journey, our high school football journey with you guys. And a big thank you to you guys once again for voting, for being a part of that journey, and for just, making all of this possible. I don't want to get sappy, but it's just such a dream to be able to do this for you guys and be with you guys. So I hope that you guys are enjoying it as well. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning, bright and early. So have a great Friday. I'm trying to read the chat and make sure that I'm not missing any questions, but yeah. Big shout out to you guys. You guys are amazing. Everyone have a great Friday. Patty, I couldn't have said it better. Everyone have a great Friday. Don't worry, be happy. It'll be a fantastic day.
Growing up, Gabe was naturally curious. When he began to discover weather, Gabe just didn't want to know what was happening, but he wanted to know why it was happening. Gabe became fascinated with tornadoes, and it impacted his life. He wanted to pursue a career in meteorology. Even though Gabe grew up in Alabama, Mississippi has now become his home and his family. And one thing about Gabe is he keeps his family safe.